this last Christmas, Santa gifted the Lakari household a copy of the Wikipedia Game. And although I'm a clear outlier on the nerdiness spectrum compared to the rest of my family, so I'd be the one who'd be most inclined to like the Wikipedia Game, it's still fun enough that we've been basically playing it for a week straight. It has all the elements that you probably expect from a Wikipedia-based game. There's trivia on just about everything under the sun, stuff like what's the coldest desert in the world, or which of the following deserts is not located in the United States. The aim of the game is to earn as many of the available 100 tokens as possible, and for the first 2 sections of each card, you do this by getting the correct answer. But at the third part of the card, the disambiguation section, things stop being about what's factually correct, and at this point, the game starts to get really interesting from a social science perspective. What the card asks seems simple enough. One player, the judge, is tasked with writing down 5 of something like list 5 deserts of the world or list 5 types of geometric shapes. But while they're doing it, the other players are also doing the same. If a player's response matches the judge's, they both get a token. Now, if you were a judge, what kind of answers would you pick? I mean, you could just put down whatever 5 things come off the top of your head, but you might not get any points if your answers are too obscure, or depending on your audience, not obscure enough. Learn really quickly that it's not about choosing the answers that you're predisposed to. It's about choosing the answers that others will be predisposed to. If that sounds complicated enough, the game isn't even really about that. It's about picking the kinds of answers that they know that you know that they're predisposed to. It's about them knowing what you know that they know, And on it goes, ever down the rabbit hole. But how deep should we go? How many no's does it take to know the right thing to write down? Well, a good place to start is with a beauty contest. In 1936, John Maynard Keynes introduced a game that's actually been played out in real life. Imagine that you were given a set of 100 photographs and you're told to select 6 of the most attractive faces. The wrinkle is, you're not selecting the 6 that's most attractive to you. You're choosing the 6 that are most attractive overall. So you don't necessarily pick the faces that you like the best. You have to pick the ones that the entire population overall deems as the most attractive. But just like the Wikipedia game, everyone else will be making their selection partially off of what they think you will feel is most attractive. And then you'll adjust their selection, others will adjust theirs, and on it goes. Keynes' thought experiment was meant to describe how he believed the stock market worked. People aren't choosing stocks based upon their intrinsic value. They're choosing them based upon how they believe others will appraise that value so that they can secure the maximal profit. However, those people are also making their appraisals based off of the opinions or the perceived opinions of other people, and down the chain, which is why stock prices will have a lot of short-term volatility attached to them. But how many steps can people be reasonably expected to take? This question is actually a lot deeper than a lot down because it actually drills down into the debate as to whether or not people are actually rational. Or, at the very least, just what the limits of our rationality are. The answer to this can be found in a similar game to the Keynesian beauty contest, called the Guess a Two-Thirds Average game. Can we just take a moment to count our blessings like economists don't work in Milton Bradley's toy naming division? Otherwise we'd get such gems as, memoryless chance events, the trembling hand tries surgery, and who can forget the classic opportunity costs, the game. Anyways, the Guess a Two-Thirds Average game is a bit convoluted, but its applicability to the scenario is immediately evident. All players are presented with a number line between 1 and 100, and the goal is to select the number that is 2/3 the average of all the other guesses. The catch here is, however, that if all players were perfectly rational, they would all select the number 0. Here's how this works out. Let's say there's a group of players who really don't care about the rules of the game and are just going to select a number between 0 and 100 randomly. Let's call these level 0 players. Because it's a random selection process, you could expect the average of their sum guesses to be 50. Level 1 players would expect that all other players besides them are level 0 players, so they would take 2/3 of the average of 50, which would hover between about 33. Level 2 players, however, would suspect that everyone else is a level 1 player and take 2/3 the average of 33 and make that their guess, which is 22. Level 3 players would see it as 22 and then make their guess at 14, and on it goes. Eventually, you come down to the highest level, which the nearest whole number is just going to be 0. Or the nearest integer. I'm not going to get into the whole 0 number or concept thing here. As you can imagine, not that many people actually engage in that many steps because, we're not robots. In fact, 80% of people don't go above 4 steps of reasoning. Less than 5 to 10% on average will choose 0, and that includes graduate students in economics. Research shows that the modal number of steps that people take is 2. So translating this back to the Wikipedia game, they're picking the things that they know, they know, for like a total of 3 steps. They're not picking the things like that they're immediately predisposed to, or the things that they believe that you know. They're picking the things that they believe that you are aware of about them. Or to like untangle that mess, they're selecting the things that they believe you think they know. But the game isn't as simple as a number line between 0 and 100 though. People's areas of knowledge can vary pretty dramatically. Like, I was a boss when it came to the name 5 dinosaur questions, but I struggled pretty mightily on name 5 supermodels, even though they had already given like 3 names in the previous questions. The game is made even more complicated by the fact that nowhere in the rules does it say that the answers have to be right, which is how some members of my family managed to earn tokens for saying that Thomas Edison was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, I'm still a little bit bitter about that. So you don't just have to pick answers based upon how well others know the topic. You also have to pick answers based upon how well others know, well, you, right? The game privileges those who know each other better, which interestingly enough also coheres with the findings of the Guess the Two-Thirds Average game, which found that repeated rounds giving opportunities for people to understand the people that they're playing with more resulted in better guesses of the two-thirds average. Ultimately though, the game privileges those who have a broader knowledge base, the kind of thing that one develops by, checking out current events, or reading books, or watching educational YouTubers. Man, do I wish that this video was sponsored. I mean, that would have been a hell of a segue, right? I mean, like, if you want to get smarter, you can use Brilliant, or Khan Academy, or Audible. And I mean, if any of you guys are watching that represent this company, like, hit me up. I'm just saying. Alright, so I have a challenge for you guys. Let's assume that you're the judge in the Wikipedia game, right? And for every answer that you match with somebody else, you only get a maximum of 1 token. So if 2 people match you, it's only 1 token. You can get up to 5, so if there's at least 1 person who guesses every single one of your answers, you can get up to 5 tokens. What would be the most rational strategy that you can think of for you to earn the maximum number of tokens for the entirety of the game? Drop your answers down in the comment section below, or any of the thoughts that kind of cropped up while you were watching this video. Look forward to reading all of them and answering a few of them in the next comment response video. Sources for everything is always down in the doobly-doo, as well as links to the Facebook, the Twitter, and the blog. Look forward to seeing you guys out there as well. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you want to support the channel, you can do so by commenting down below, by sharing this video, and by subscribing to the channel to stay in the loop for more awesome social science content as uploaded. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.